It takes work and mental adjustments to become fearless in any circumstance. It is something that can be learned and developed over time. It is not something that can be accomplished quickly. We will examine the lessons that the renowned Japanese swordsman Miyamoto Musashi taught and how they might be used in daily life in this video to encourage greater bravery in us. Step 1. Accept the unknowable. We come across strange and uncertain situations all the time in life. When one is confronted with the unknown, fear and trepidation are normal emotions. But Miyamoto Musashi shows us that facing uncertainty head-on is the only way to become fearless in any circumstance. In order to embrace the unknown, we must first accept that life is full of uncertainty. We can decide to see it as a chance for learning and development rather than something to be afraid of or opposed to. By altering our viewpoint, we allow ourselves to be open to fresh opportunities and encounters. Developing an open-minded and curious mindset is one way to embrace the unknown. We can approach new circumstances with a sense of wonder and excitement as opposed to fear or resistance. This enables us to broaden our horizons, discover new areas, and absorb knowledge from various viewpoints. We must also let go of our desire for total control. In order to embrace the unknown, we have to acknowledge that not everything is foreseeable or predictable. We liberate ourselves from the bonds of fear when we let go of our attachment to results and accept life as it unfolds. Miyamoto Musashi, his teachings serve as a reminder that real change and progress take place when we step outside of our comfort zones. We challenge ourselves to face our fears and find our inner strength when we venture into the unknown. We gain the resilience needed to handle any circumstance and the ability to trust ourselves via these experiences. Thus, embracing the unknown is a potent mentality that can enable us to overcome fear in any circumstance. We can overcome our fears and realize our full potential by embracing the opportunities for growth, letting go of control, and approaching the unfamiliar with curiosity. Recall that facing the unknown is an opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery, rather than something to be afraid of. Step 2. Exercise assiduously. Miyamoto Musashi stressed the value of thorough training as a way to develop fearlessness in any circumstance. Training assiduously entails committing ourselves to expanding our knowledge and skill sets in the domains that are important to us. By doing this, we can develop the competence and self-assurance required to take on obstacles head-on. In order to train with diligence, we must first determine our objectives and dreams. What goal do we have in mind? What abilities do we need to develop or enhance? Establishing specific goals enables us to concentrate our efforts and develop a training itinerary. Setting and maintaining regular practice is essential once our objectives have been established. Training with diligence calls for self-control, tenacity, and a readiness to invest the required time and energy. It could entail practicing on a daily or regular basis while reading pertinent materials. In order to become fearless, we should constantly push ourselves outside of our comfort zones and look for advice from mentors or experts. It is critical to keep in mind that development is not always linear. There might be obstacles and setbacks in the path, but instead of seeing these challenges as reasons to give up, we can see them as chances for growth if we keep an attitude of constant improvement. Maintaining a growth mindset is another aspect of diligent training. This entails realizing that with effort and practice, our abilities can be developed rather than being fixed. We can approach our training with curiosity and enthusiasm if we adopt this viewpoint, realizing that all of our experiences, whether positive or negative, help us to grow and change. Additionally, It's critical to enjoy the training process itself. Finding fulfillment along the way is just as important as the final destination. Find methods to make the training process fun and fulfilling. Acknowledge the progress made and celebrate small victories. Training hard is essential to developing fearlessness in any circumstance by establishing specific objectives, resolving to follow a routine, accepting obstacles as chances for improvement, keeping a growth mentality and having fun while doing it. We can acquire the abilities and self-assurance required to respond bravely and resiliently to any circumstance. Recall that we can only reach our full potential and develop into our best selves via consistent training. Step 3. Develop restraint. Miyamoto Musashi thought that developing self-control was essential to being fearless in any circumstance. The capacity to control our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, even under trying or stressful conditions, is known as self-control. In order to master self-control, we must develop the ability to make thoughtful and wise decisions that will allow us to handle challenging circumstances with poise and assurance. It's critical to observe our inner landscape in order to cultivate awareness of our thoughts and emotions. We are able to recognize the factors that could set off impulsive or reactive behavior. By being mindfully aware, we can make more deliberate decisions rather than relying just on instinct or emotion, by pausing and considering our options before acting. Cultivating self-control can be achieved through mindfulness practice. Being mindful entails focusing on the here and now without passing judgment. Regular mindfulness practice can help us become more self-aware and improve our capacity to respond instead of react impulsively. This frees us from the influence of fear or outside events and enables us to make decisions based on clarity and reason. Being aware of and acting in accordance with our values is another part of developing self-control. Making decisions that are consistent with our values is made simpler when we have a clear understanding of what matters to us most. This increases our ability to exercise self-control, since we are less susceptible to transient urges or outside pressure. Additionally, mastering self-control requires the development of healthy coping mechanisms. Having stress reduction techniques in place can help us remain calm during stressful or uncertain times, like practicing deep breathing, engaging in meditation, or exercising. Even under trying circumstances, we are able to effectively control our emotions and remain in control of the situation. It is important to remember that developing self-control does not entail denying or repressing our feelings. Instead, it involves being aware of and cognizant of our feelings, as well as making deliberate decisions about how to react to them. Through achieving this degree of self-awareness and self-control, we are capable of handling challenging circumstances with poise and fortitude. Gaining control over one's emotions is essential to being fearless in any circumstance. Making thoughtful decisions and remaining composed in the face of difficulty can be strengthened by developing self-awareness, engaging in mindfulness practices, ensuring that our actions are consistent with our values, and creating healthy coping strategies. Recall that true strength comes from mastering ourselves rather than from trying to control the outside world. Step 4. Flexibility is essential. Miyamoto Musashi thought that the key to becoming fearless in any circumstance was to be flexible. The term adaptability describes the capacity to change with situations and surroundings. We can stay adaptable and open-minded by practicing adaptability, which enables us to confidently and easily navigate uncertainty. Adopting a growth mindset is crucial. First, a growth mindset is the conviction that intelligence and skill can be acquired via work and education. By taking this viewpoint, we can approach unfamiliar circumstances without fear or resistance, by approaching them with curiosity and a willingness to learn. Having the courage to attempt new things and take chances is another component of adaptability. This entails moving beyond our comfort zones and seizing chances for development and education. By doing this, we broaden our perspectives and build the resilience required to confidently face obstacles. Furthermore, expanding our knowledge base and skill set can help us become more adaptive. We become more adaptable and better suited to manage a variety of situations when we expand our skill set. This can entail actively seeking out novel encounters, absorbing knowledge from a variety of sources, and consistently pushing ourselves to improve. Developing an attitude of adaptability and openness is also crucial. This entails being prepared to modify our strategies or plans as needed. We can swiftly and successfully adjust to new circumstances and surroundings if we maintain our flexibility. It is important to remember that being flexible does not imply sacrificing our morals or beliefs. Instead, it refers to the capacity to modify our tactics without compromising our essential convictions. By preserving this harmony between adaptability and morality, uncertainty can be handled gracefully and resiliently. Therefore, developing adaptability is crucial to being fearless in any circumstance. By adopting a growth mindset, taking calculated chances, expanding our skill set, staying adaptable and open-minded, and upholding our moral principles, we can cultivate the resilience required to confidently and easily navigate uncertainty. Recall that adaptability is a mindset that enables us to meet any challenge with bravery and resiliency, not just a skill. Step 5. Be patient. Miyamoto Musashi highlighted the value of being patient in order to become fearless in any circumstance. The capacity to maintain composure in the face of difficulties, setbacks, or delays is known as patience. We can overcome adversity with resiliency and preserve our inner peace by practicing patience. It is essential to develop an accepting mindset in order to be an example of patience, recognizing that not everything is in our control and that plans may not always work out is a necessary step toward acceptance. Accepting this fact allows us to put less emphasis on the destination and more on the process, letting go of the need for quick fixes or instant satisfaction. Learning to postpone gratification is another facet of being patient. This entails practicing delayed gratification, which is avoiding the need for instant gratification, and realizing that sometimes accomplishing our goals requires patience and effort. We can cultivate the perseverance and discipline that are necessary for overcoming obstacles. Additionally, mindfulness training can support the development of patience. Being mindful entails accepting the present moment as it is, without passing judgment. By engaging in mindfulness practices, we can become more cognizant of our thoughts and feelings, which enables us to react to circumstances calmly and rationally, as opposed to impulsively. It's crucial to embody patience and engage in self-compassion exercises. Being kind and understanding to ourselves is a key component of self-compassion, especially when we are going through tough times or experiencing setbacks. We can develop a sense of inner serenity and resilience through self-compassion practices, which enables us to face challenges head-on. Getting a different viewpoint can also aid in the development of patience. A more comprehensive understanding of the current situation can be obtained by standing back and looking at the bigger picture. This more expansive viewpoint can assist us in realizing that brief setbacks or delays are frequently a part of a longer process that leads to our objectives. Being patient is a strong trait that empowers us to face any circumstance without fear. Through the practice of acceptance, self-delay, mindfulness, self-compassion, and perspective seeking, we can build the inner serenity and resilience required to face challenges with poise and assurance. Recall that patience is the active decision to believe in the process and enjoy the journey rather than passively waiting. Step 6. Have faith in your instincts. Miyamoto Musashi was a strong proponent of intuition's ability to inspire fearlessness in any circumstance. Our innate capacity to comprehend or know something without the need for conscious thought is referred to as intuition. We can access our inner wisdom and make confident, well-informed decisions by following our intuition. It's critical to develop self-awareness in order to trust your intuition. This entails being aware of your intuition, hunches or other internal indicators. Gaining more insight into your own internal signals will help you distinguish between authentic intuitive insights and fear-based reactions. Learning to block out outside influences is another part of trusting your gut. Hearing your intuition in a world full of expectations, judgments, and opinions can be difficult. You can strengthen your relationship with your intuition by setting aside time for solitude, engaging in mindfulness exercises, and connecting with your inner wisdom. It's also critical to use experience to validate your intuition by thinking back to previous times when you followed your intuition's advice. As you observe the benefits of following your intuition, you will be able to increase your confidence in its dependability over time. You'll become more comfortable depending on it. It is important to remember that following your gut does not imply ignoring reason or outside sources of knowledge. Instead, it entails combining intuitive insights with logical analysis to produce well-informed decisions. You can reach a deeper level of comprehension and make decisions that are true to who you are by fusing reason and intuition. Step 7. Accept failure as a learning opportunity. Miyamoto Musashi understood that in order to become fearless, one must inevitably experience failure. He advocated viewing failure as a chance for development and education rather than something to be feared. Through viewing failure as a learning opportunity rather than a setback, accepting failure as a necessary part of growth can help us become more resilient and come back stronger than before. It's critical to have a growth mindset. A growth mindset sees failure as an opportunity to grow, learn, and acquire new abilities. We may view failure as insightful criticism that points us in the direction of greater achievement, rather than as a reflection of our skills or self-worth. Developing self-compassion is another facet of accepting failure. In the face of failure, we can choose to be compassionate and understanding toward ourselves, rather than critical or judgmental. Failure is a normal part of learning, and acknowledging that everyone has setbacks helps us handle failure with grace and resilience. Furthermore, by examining what went wrong and pinpointing areas for improvement, reflecting on failures can offer insightful analysis and important lessons. We are able to learn from our mistakes and improve for next times. Accepting failure as a chance for personal development entails viewing it as a springboard for achievement as opposed to an obstacle. Ultimately, developing fearlessness in any circumstance requires following your gut and accepting failure as a learning opportunity. You can overcome obstacles with more assurance and resiliency if you work on developing your self-awareness. Validate your intuition through experience. Integrate rational thought with intuitive insights. Embrace failure with a growth mindset. Practice self-compassion and reflect on your failures for improvement. Recall that failure is a necessary step on the path to success and personal development, rather than the end. Intuition is also a potent guide,